Hello guys, DJParson here, back for the second game of the International Championship. And as you guys can see, the points for the first game haven't been rewarded yet because the first and second game start at the same time for me, so I'm actually recording them simultaneously. You already know who won the first game, don't spoil me please, I don't know yet. But the second game, game 2, will be against Kimo and Tamiris, so let's hop into the game. So in this game against Kimo and Tamiris, we have the first turn. So let's first take a look at the leaders and wonders in the game. I usually like to start in H3 to see what is coming in the very late game. And we see Marlene Dietrich, Pierre de Coubertin, Nelson Mandela, so Sid Meier for computers. That's always very important. There are quite a lot of computer leaders in H3. But we only have Sid Meier, no Einstein, no Steve Jobs, no Bill Gates. So that makes computers not as important. That's important to keep in mind. Marlene makes dramas a lot better, and Pierre makes bread and circuses a lot better. So that is some information that is very useful for H1. And then we see spaceflight, fast food chains, so no International Red Cross. So food production isn't as important, and no Manhattan Project. That is also an H3 wonder that can be very important. But we do have ocean liner service, Louvre, Statue of Liberty, Railroad, but no Suez Canal. There's Bach, Catherine, Newton, no Nobel, so he can't save us if we're low science production. Magic Castle, Great Wall. There's Zizka, he's very important. Columbus. So this is not a bad game for Sun Tzu with Zizka and Columbus in there. Both of them can benefit greatly from Sun Tzu. So with that knowledge, let's take a look what we can take. One of these cards, I'm not a big fan of Stonehenge. Could just take Stonehenge, but I think I'm gonna go with the Urban Growth. Then maybe we get the library, even though Kimo will probably take the library. But we could get library or Colossus. And the last two wonders are Roman roads and Acropolis. So if we don't get library, maybe we get Roman roads, and then that's totally fine as well. So grab the urban growth first, so we can go for that lab next turn. So Kimo takes the library, and Tamiris takes Stonehenge, Frugality, and Rich Land. So 3 cards for him. And Roman roads do come out, so we do have the decision: do we want Colossus or the Roman roads? Let's first increase population, build that lab. Now we have some decisions to make. We could grab Confucius or one of the other leaders. I think I'd rather wait with that. Could go for Colossus. Colossus is not bad. Alternative would be to wait for Roman roads, and we should get that next turn for 1 civil action. Could take Rich Land this turn. Next turn we want to build the 2nd or 3rd bronze. So I think that is pretty safe that we do that. And then the decision for me is Colossus or the Urban Growth. Don't want to go for Confucius. He's one of my least favorite leaders from HA. So the decision really is between Colossus and Urban Growth. Colossus would mean we get the Roman roads. Pretty late Roman roads. They need a lot of civil actions. I'm just going to go with the Colossus. We got a lot of resources from the Urban Growth and now the Rich Land. So I think Colossus should be good. Maybe we get Caesar next turn, and then we can go for some really hyper aggressive early game. So I think I like that. So Kimo elects Cleopatra, builds 1 step, skips his 2nd lab for now, and blue Tamiris will elect Alexander. So, we have an interesting choice to make. So let's skip politics, I would say. In the wealthy territory, we could go for that with the Colossus. We will have extra colonization, and if we decide to go for Isabella immediately and skip Caesar entirely, we can definitely go for some colonies. So yeah, I think that's pretty good, right? We can skip the politics for now, see how our turn is looking. And we can definitely take Isabella, elect her immediately, and then it's really no problem that we skipped an HA leader, because we got Isabella the same turn as we would Caesar. And they can grab engineering genius and build a lab, build a mine. That seems really solid, getting the engineering genius. A lot of resource production going. So next time we can finish the Colossus and then look for another wonder. And I mean, Magic Castle, St. Peter's Basilica and Great Wall all seem really fine. We will not get Zizka, but such an early Isabella will mean a lot of resources, so I really like that. And then we definitely can go for the wealthy territory here. And we're gonna get extra food. Yeah, and then still go for Isabella here. Go for that mine. We're not gonna have a free population, but I still really want that engineering genius. We could theoretically not build the mine for the development of warfare or religion, where we would get a free something. But like this, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. We'll have a lot of food that we can spend next turn, so it's only one turn that we don't have a free population, so I think that has to be okay. And yeah, and then return and see what cards we can draw, maybe more colonies, yeah, and develop territories. So with the Colossus and the colonization from Isabella, we can definitely go for a lot of territories. And there is sadly no Suez Canal and also no Cook, so can't go for those, but it's still really nice. So development of trade routes, okay, and Kimno finishes his library already and takes alchemy and the library. That's a lot of science, and even more science from the development of science. And blue also takes alchemy. And he also has Stonehenge, so these guys really want a lot of science, it seems. So yeah, let's play the developed territory, I would say. We don't have a free population, and red and blue do. They still want to get this territory in there. Some early territories would be great. Development of crafts. Okay, let's finish this Colossus, definitely. And I guess we increase population 2 times, so we don't have corruption. Would be great with Pierre in the mix here to grab the Brand Circus, but that's not really possible. We could not use our engineering genius. Then we could take the Brand Circus. Yeah, I give a lot of happy faces. I mean, are we gonna get St. Peter's Basilica? Probably not. It's a little bit dangerous keeping the engineering genius in hand, but there are still a lot of wonders to come. 2 really great ones, Magic Castle and Great Wall. If we go for Brand Circus, we probably don't want to go for St. Peter's Basilica. It would really be bad if we lost the engineering genius, but I think I want to get that Brand Circus. Not only because of Pierre, but he makes that decision a lot easier, but also we need the happy faces. Don't have a wonder that gives happy faces yet, and it might be unlikely that we get St. Peter's Basilica. I definitely think red will want to take that. I guess he also has big problems with corruption if he wants to take a wonder. And blue won't take it, but it might still be gone. If you don't take Brand Circus, then there are a lot of cards in front of the St. Peter's Basilica. If we don't take anything, then red would have to take St. Peter's Basilica for 2 selections or 3 with the extra 1. You can't really do that. So then we would get the St. Peter's Basilica. We have the wealthy territory and developed, so not that many yellow cubes. And there's another Brand Circus, right? Yeah, and drama and Marlenus. So yeah, maybe let's not do that. Maybe let's use our engineering genius here. I don't want to be in a position where I can't use that. So doing like this, and maybe next time we can get St. Peter's Basilica. It stays on the second row, so it costs extra selections for red to take. So I think I like that. And then maybe we can grab that next turn. So, development of politics opened by Kimo. Let's, yeah, gonna see what we draw from that. Early Code of Laws for Kimo, really nice move to spend his science. He's producing quite a lot, and with the alchemy in hand, I really like that. And blue does use Alex and now goes for Nostradamus, so he's gonna have a lot of information for the next event stack. But we are the strongest, 2 territories in there, and we have 2 more in hand. So we could definitely afford to go for cartography with all of these territories in hand. So let's play this strategic territory. We're also the strongest, so if that's something else. Oh, rebellion hits all of us. Everybody loses 2 civil actions. Whew, that is a very, very early rebellion. That doesn't happen usually that early. So now we have a quite tough choice to make. I mean, we have a lot of science. I probably want to spend that on monarchy. And then we could build another lab, but then we do have corruption. We could increase population and build a warrior. So we're not gonna get St. Peter's Basilica. That probably would be an alternative. Just grab that, do nothing else. Maybe get the next monarchy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really sucks that we don't have the extra 2 civil actions. Then we could go for monarchy and the St. Peter's Basilica. But like this, that won't happen. Going for a warrior, I like that quite much, especially with all the territories. So I think I'm gonna go with the other way. Can still go for Himeji Castle, maybe next turn. Kimno again gets Himeji Castle on 2, so he can't actually take that. He can't take the Himeji Castle. And blue also can't take that. So I think we should be able to get Himeji Castle next turn, and that should be even better than St. Peter's Basilica. So let's go for the monarchy play this turn. Build a warrior. If we have to send one away for the territory, then we have another one for the next territory. And then let's really, really hope that we can draw colonization cards. Gonna get rid of the aggressions and the call to arms. I guess we can also get rid of the heavy cavalry. No way that we can go for 3 knights. So keeping the other cards, and let's hope for some colonization cards. That would be very important. Okay, we don't draw it, and okay, Kimno can, if he really, really wants, he can take the Himeji Castle. So we'll have to take the Great Wall. Forgot about that Himeji Castle would come 1 down. So he could increase population and just take Himeji Castle. That will be interesting if he goes for that. Yeah. So Kimno, yeah, he does take the Himeji Castle. Yeah, not how I planned that, but still should be okay. There, Zhishka shows up. Culture influence pretty early, so not a lot of culture gained yet. Oh, and looks like we're gonna get breakthrough and monarchy. And Kimmo will get Jan Zhishka, and if he wants to, also the engineering genius. So we have to be careful what cards we take. So engineering genius and Jan Zhishka hopefully stay on 2. That might be hard if we want the knights. Let's first consider if we want to play something. Yeah, one of the territories coming out wouldn't be bad. We could play the call to arms. We have the Colossus, but whoever is gonna get Zhishka is gonna get a lot of strength. Kimmo's gonna get a lot of strength from the Himeji Castle. So probably don't want to play that. Maybe just play the historic territory. Even 1 more colony. Sadly, we haven't drawn a single colonization card yet, so if the territories come out now, won't be that great. Yeah, but still, maybe I don't play something. Let's first see what we're gonna do this turn. Oh, we already have a monarchy. Forgot about that. So yeah, breakthrough, definitely great. And yeah, we could go for some knights. We could skip knights and go with the legion and 3 warriors. Can't develop the knights this turn anyway. We could grab the Great Wall. Then we do have some problems with corruption. Could start building 1 step, but that's not enough. Could build another lab. Then we still do have corruption. So we could think about not taking the breakthrough, just the Great Wall. And then could build 2 steps and a warrior and play the tactics, go up to 7. This means we don't have corruption. And soon we're gonna finish the Great Wall, probably next turn, get even more strength. And then, yeah, I mean, science is a problem if you play like this. Alchemy's gone already, so yeah, science would really love to get the breakthrough. So you could think about just having corruption. Then maybe still this. Yeah, just missing one blue cube and to not have corruption like this. So I mean, we could build a temple. It's also not too bad. I mean, we probably want to go for Pierre, but we could also go for Bach, and then we can put the temple into a drama or something. Still 2 dramas in there, so we could go for dramas, and then with Bach convert the religion to a drama at some later point. Not having corruption, pretty important I think, and then next turn we can finish the Great Wall in one step. Oh, not in one step, but in one turn. Immediately finish that. Then we do have enough happy faces, 2 happy faces, 1 from the temple, 1 from the Great Wall. I think I like this line of play. Skip on the knights for now. If we get Great Wall and maybe swordsman, still 2 swordsmen, then we don't really need the knights. We really want that breakthrough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards on the first row. So Red will get Engineering Genius if he wants that. But he probably wants to finish Magic Castle anyway next turn with last time using Cleopatra. And then he gets a Zizka for 2 at least, so Zizka doesn't come down to 1. That's pretty important. So this turn looks okay. So we still have the decision if we want to go for some of these territories. We're not drawing a lot of colonization cards anyway. Or we're not going to draw any cards really. Yeah, let's play something first. So a lot of thoughts going into this, and now we decide we want to play something. Let's play this Tauric territory. And Dark Ages. Oh, that's also really good for us. So yeah, that worked out. Dark Ages, both of them lose 2 science. Is pretty great. And it was pretty dangerous for blue. If he finished Stonehenge, he could have lost a lot more, but still pretty nice. Still want to go for the Great Wall. Theoretically, we could go for cartography, but yeah, then we also have corruption. Not gonna get breakthrough and everything. That's too expensive. Cartography for 3. And we do have Isabella for the colonies. So there's that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do the rest like I did before. Get breakthrough. I mean, we don't need to play the Legion. We are the strongest anyway. And we want to draw colonization cards, so maybe I don't play that yet. Yeah, I can keep that in hand, I think. Don't play the tactic yet, so we have more chances of drawing colonization cards. Get rid of the Good Harvest and then hope for some colonization cards. So we don't have to pay a lot of resources for the colonies. Nope. Sadly, no colonization cards. So Kimura, yeah, takes Zizka first, finishes Magic Castle. And the Knight, so he doesn't even take the Engineering Genius. But he's the strongest now, and we are the weakest because of Nostradamus. And the first territory comes up. Yeah, we have a lot of resources. If we have to, of course, send away 1 warrior and 3 resources. I think 6 is too much. 6 resources really is a lot. We can't finish the Great Wall next turn, even if we only send away 3. And we could get the Reality territory as well, then we can finish it again. But yeah, I think for the first 1, 4 is the only thing I can bid. Might not be enough actually. I mean, blue only has 3 cards in hand, red has 5, so yeah, it really depends on the card draw. 4 is really a lot that they have to get now, and we are before red, so we win draws against red. So we have 4, and red also bids 4. That gives us information. So pretty likely that he has 3 colonization cards. Or he would send away 2 warriors and the fighting band, and then he has 1 colonization card. So either 3 or 1. Not so sure what we can do with that information, but it's going to be important for the next territories. A lot of territories coming up. But for the next one we could have the cartography actually. And that's pretty good that we know that red can only bid 4 for the next territory. So if we play the call to arms, for example, we can win the wealthy territory with another 4 resources or with another 4 colonizations. So the same as this one. Pretty expensive, but yeah, we can of course colonize this, and then we don't have to go for the next territory. We can wait for the cartography. So yeah, a lot of options. And Tamaris finishes Stonehenge, 15 science saved up. That is a lot, so you can be lucky that that Dark Ages came out pretty early. And now we have the interesting decision. We can force out the wealthy territory. Then we have to bid 4 again, because last turn Chemo also bid 4. 4 would mean again sacrificing 3 resources. So I think I'd rather wait and go for cartography. It's still definitely gonna pay off the cartography for the next 3 colonies. So I quite like that. And then we can even take Engineering Genius for the Great Wall. Swordsman, of course, really important. And then I could take iron, yeah, maybe I should take iron as well. We're gonna get a lot of resources from the wealthy territory, and then spending those resources to go for iron seems really good. And this also really makes the next colony so safe for us. Kimmo definitely will play something, I'm pretty sure. Then he again can bid 4, and we can easily bid more now, especially if we maybe draw 1 colonization card. So this seems really strong. Get the Engineering Genius, make the Great Wall cheaper. We have a lot of resources then, especially with the wealthy territory coming up. Extra 6 resources for us. And then we can spend that on finishing the Great Wall and going for iron. We could think about going for masonry maybe, but yeah, we're very limited with science. We just spent 4 science on cartography, so masonry is very luxury technology as well. Cost civilizations to take and to develop. I mean, we get these civilizations back, but then we can't use Engineering Genius. And with our limited science, and we want to go for iron and maybe even the swordsman, so I think this is totally fine. So I think I'm going to play the Legion now. We're definitely going to go for the Legion, and I'd rather do that this turn because this turn is still H1, so we draw 1 less H1 card and not the precious H2 cards. We're going to draw one of those next turn, and there's 1 colonization card, so hopefully we get the next territory for warrior and the colonization card. So yeah, he opens the wealthy territory, so we can definitely. He should still only be able to bid 4, if I'm not mistaken. So we should get it for this. If we had to, of course, we would bid more. We would even bid the 3, but I don't think there's a way that we have to. But I would bid up to 7. And here we get it for 4. That's really nice. So we just get it for 1 warrior. Can keep even the card. And then we are swimming in resources 16. So yeah, we can definitely finish the Great Wall and do a lot of stuff with 16 resources. And red builds up his alchemy, takes irrigation, patriotism. Okay. Good culture production from red. And H2 starts, and we draw 3 cards. We're gonna check out what that is. But first, blue offers a pact to us, the open borders. Yeah, probably will accept those, right? We have 3 military actions, so 4th one, no problem. Blue really is no danger to us, I think, especially once we finish the Great Wall. And oh, we draw fortifications. That is perfect, really. We can even consider skipping the swordsman, depending a little bit. We can still go for them. Yeah, that's an interesting decision that we'll have to do next turn, probably. But anyway, can definitely accept the pact offer. So Damaris goes for iron and leaves us breakthrough. Pretty nice. So do we want to play something? We are the weakest. These territories, maybe we would win those, definitely. In terms of military protection, I probably don't want to go for that. We could play, but the Reign of Terror and Call to Arms punish the weakest player, and yeah, we will probably be the weakest for a couple of turns maybe. Tamiris with the Nostradamus, as long as he has him, he's probably not gonna get weaker than us. And then against Zizka, it's really hard. So probably don't want to play any of these. So we might offer the promise of military protection, but I don't know if someone would accept that. It is quite a bit this early for strength. I mean, it would double our strength. I don't think anybody would accept that this turn. So what can we do this time? We can go for the iron, upgrade all three. Then we have a lot of resources and a lot of resource production. What I really need is civil actions to finish the Great Wall, but I can finish that next turn if I really want, and then maybe take the breakthrough. We're lacking in in science, so going for the breakthrough. Still have one warrior for one of these territories, maybe not for two, but then again the historic territory, maybe we don't need that as much. We could not upgrade the last iron, but take breakthrough, increase population, and build another warrior. Yeah, maybe this is better. We don't need to upgrade all the iron. We still have so many resources. We have the engineering genius, so even if we finish Great Wall next turn, we're gonna have a lot of resources still. So rebuilding a warrior to maybe go for both territories seems pretty good. Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous being at 5. We are the weakest, but we also have 2 cards in hand that punish the weakest. So if it is border conflict or uncertain borders, that definitely is a problem. But yeah, I want to go for the iron this turn. Alternatively, would probably finish the Great Wall. And build a warrior. That puts us at 7. We could go for iron next turn. I mean, getting to be the strongest, we still have a lot of resources left, so we can go for iron one turn later. But we don't get the breakthrough. Actually, I don't know, maybe this is also a good way to go. We don't really need the resources this turn. We have so many anyway that maybe delaying that one turn is no problem to be the strongest. We don't know which cards blue played and red. Blue definitely could have played something where the weakest get punished because he has that Nostradamus. Maybe he also has new deposits played, then the other way would be better, but we still produce a lot of resources. We don't want to overcommit to resources. So finishing the Great Wall, yeah, I think I like that. I like that quite a bit. Could copy a tactic. Now we don't want to do that. We are strongest anyway. Get rid of this aggression, this tactic. Yeah, keep 1 colonization card. There are 2 colonies coming up. And then let's keep all of the H2 cards for now. Can definitely make some use out of them soon. And then we draw economic progress. We could definitely go for that and another territory. Yeah, this is going to be a territory heavy game. Really looking good for us, I think. So Kimo goes for strategy for 3. So he has a lot of military actions and strength now. Blue won't play cards, takes away from nationalism, goes for upgrading those iron, and now it's our turn. I mean, we are not the weakest, also not the strongest, but 2 colonies coming up, so definitely think I will play the next territory right in there. We still have 3 colonization. Yeah, we should probably be able to win this next territory as well. And reds. Oh, only 1 food lost for us. That's really good for us. 3 for red and 4 for blue. That's really good. So let's think about what we want to do this turn. So we can either go for iron, upgrade those, maybe even all 3, and then grab scientific method. We really need science. We could also go for the scientific method this turn. Upgrade both. Maybe grab efficient upgrade. The next turn we can upgrade the iron. I mean, we still have a lot of resources, so we have to look at what we need the most. And if we look at the start of our turn, we need science and food production. And we have a lot of resources in already, so we can delay the resource production. We need to upgrade to the iron eventually, but maybe it's better to go for the scientific method first. Going up to 6 science production, I really like that. And then grabbing a fission upgrade. Next time we can go for iron, even upgrade all 3 with the fission upgrade. And then maybe grab selective breeding. There's still 2 selective breedings and the Ocean Air Service and Statue of Liberty, so I think it's pretty likely that we solve that food issue at some point. Probably this selective breeding will be taken away by maybe red, maybe blue. Yeah, we probably won't get this one, but I can't take it for 3. I need to upgrade and spend my resources of this turn. And then 6 resources in hand, that's enough for now. Or next 6 resources next turn. Yeah, I think I like going for the science first, and then we can go for the iron next turn. Cancel copy tactic, do we really want to do that? Means 1 less card for 1 strength, which we don't really need at the moment. Yeah, probably not copying that tactic. And I mean, maybe prosperity. Really want to keep the war and the tactic and the colonization card. Need to discard 2 cards. Maybe get rid of the economic progress. Tough choice here, tough choice. Could also get rid of the prosperity. That doesn't look that great for us. I mean, we have 2 happy faces. If we get the historic territory, we'll have more. Definitely want to keep the war for now, don't want to throw that away. Could throw away the promise of military protection instead of maybe the prosperity. If we don't get food protection, then we need the prosperity maybe to get that food. So that is a good alternative. So maybe getting rid of the pact. And then see, maybe 1 colonization card would be great. Nope, a lot of green cards. And the next territory, the historic one. Yeah, let's get that. Happy faces won't hurt. Definitely sending that to 1 resource and 1 card should be enough, I think. And if we don't get it, that's not the biggest deal. We can then save our resources for this strategic territory. So historic territory really not the most important one. You could even say we only send away 5, 1 resource or the card. Yeah, probably keeping the card for now. There's another territory right up with a strategic, and strategic a lot more important. We can draw new colonies, new colonization cards, so that is definitely more important. So we bid 5 in this case. So we win for 5. So we can decide 1 resource or the card. And yeah, I thought that there's another one coming. People might bid more for that. 1 resource is really not a lot, so I'd rather have the card in hand. Yeah, seems reasonable. Can't upgrade all of the iron then next turn, but yeah, upgrading 2 should be enough for now. Yeah, so 1 resource should be better than 1 colonization card. So Red takes urban growth and team sports. Yeah, he definitely needs happy faces. Oh, and 2 selected breedings, and both will stay, so we're guaranteed to get 1. And the next territory. These guys really have to think what is going on. The 4th colony, we've gotten all 3 before this one, and we really want this one as well. The extra cards, I mean, yeah, we have a good tactic in our hand. We just need to wait for the cannons and hope that we get them. But still, we definitely want this territory. And to be honest, we could send away 3 resources. It's 2 strength, 3 cards. It should be worth it. Should be worth it, I think. Sadly, in this game there's no cook. That would make it even more worth it. But I think we can still bid 3 for this. I don't think we need to. No, we get it for 5. This is perfect. So, again, the question, do we keep the card? I mean, now the inhabited territory is soon to come up. But this card won't stay in our hand for too long. We could say, yeah, I probably want to send away this card now. I mean, we might regret that if a lot of people play politics. And then this comes out pretty early, but it will take a couple of turns. And maybe this card will be gone, and don't know if we want to keep that in our hand forever. Also keeping the resource for now. Yeah, yeah, let's pay the card finally. It doesn't make sense to keep that in hand the whole time and eventually we're gonna lose it. So yeah, colonize with that. Sadly didn't draw a new one, but we have drawn a new territory. That's pretty good. And blue goes and takes the first selective breeding, but we can still take the second one. And we could think about putting in another territory. So one is from blue and one from red, I would think. Don't really know who played the reds. So the problem is we are the weakest. Oh, and we don't. Yeah, if it's another colony, I don't know if they would have played that, but we don't have anything in our military, so yeah, maybe skip this time, and then we can go for the iron. Could go for coal instead. Like if we take coal like this. And then grab selective breeding, so we skip the iron but go for coal instead. I mean, it's really early, so early coal, I like that quite a lot. We're still the weakest, but we should be able... Yeah, I don't think Kimo will play an aggression or anything. So this is a way we can do this, going for the coal instead of the iron, and keeping the selective breeding still. Or taking that. So next turn maybe we can even grab the rich land or something, upgrade another coal, and then go for selective breeding. We really need the cannons. Food is a problem. We can't even get an outpopulation. We send so many away for these territories, and they are not the big ones who give a lot of yellow cubes. So I think, yeah, this is probably okay. Yeah, I like that, going for the coal instead of iron. If we have the chance to do it. I mean, alternatively, can look at that. We can go for iron, upgrade 2 times, then grab selective breeding and, I don't know, one other thing. Like a frugality for when we get out the food eventually. And then again, I like the coal, I think. It's more population efficient, and with a low population that's pretty important. So yeah, going for that. Definitely keep the territory, keep one of the wars, probably territory. Don't really need the other one. I don't know if I will be the strongest. Definitely keep the tactic, one war, the wealthy territory, and I guess maybe politics of strength or prosperity, but we have our food problem solved now. So probably keeping... Yeah, maybe Cold War. And then see what else we draw. Still no colonization card. We really have not drawn a lot of colonization card, but a lot of wars. If Red wants, he could theoretically play an aggression and sacrifice a warrior, but that seems pretty unlikely. And Kimo reveals the new deposits. We are really rich now. That worked out quite perfectly. And he goes for some arenas. He's getting some strength going. And the culture production. The mirrors will open the scientific breakthrough. Those two were really good for us, both of them. Scientific method, scientific breakthrough, and the new deposits. And blue goes for operas, or grabs them at least. There is Bach, so maybe that is his plan, going for Bach. We don't really have a big plan yet. We still want to get our food production up, and we really need the cannons. Don't know if I want to play something this turn. This H1 cut could hurt us badly. So I'm skipping for now. Really would like to plant the territory, but we can do that next turn as well. Selective breeding. Seems pretty good, going for that this turn. Upgrading resource protection some more. We could go for the Eiffel Tower, we definitely have the resources for that. Then we would jumpstart our culture production. So if you look at that, we could Yeah, one problem is we're still gonna be the weeks. We really need food. I really need to upgrade both of these, I would say. Then we get 5, 6, 7 food, so 2 population next turn. I think that's pretty important, so I can't go for the Eiffel Tower. Then maybe upgrading the other coal and grabbing the rifleman. We do have the swordsman, but we might lose them at some point. I really want the rifleman, especially with the Great Wall. Then we can skip the swordsman, go for the rifleman. Plan is still to get just the cannons. But if we don't get cannons, then we can't go for fortifications. So we need to have a plan B, because there are 2 cannons and 3 players. So yeah, could not get one. This production is looking really, really strong. It's yeah, middle of H2, and we have everything under control. Food, resources, and science all looking great. There's always a nice sign when you have all of those 3 from H2, and a lot of them upgraded already, so that is really perfect. We need population to put some military in, but with 8 resources we can definitely go for that. Also, one thing, we have drawn 3 wars, yeah, 3 of the 4 wars, so it's pretty unlikely that Red has a war, so we don't have to be as afraid as we usually would have to be of him, like going for Napoleon or something, Napoleon and Knights, and declaring a war. Can still defend. If we draw 1 defend card, we should risk that. So this looks like a good turn. Don't go for the Eiffel Tower. That would be a great alternative, but maybe we can get the Louvre. It's still early, so really want to get my food production up because we need more population. Can get rid of the national pride and one of the wars, I would say. Keeping the territory and Cold War for now, and the tactic, of course. Let's hope we draw a defend card, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, there are 2 even, that's really good. And the last wars, so we've drawn all the wars. And Kimmo reveals border conflict. Sadly, we are the weakest, so that stings a little bit. And he can go for constitutional monarchy. He's looking really strong, with a lot of strength, a lot of culture production. And yeah, the 2 arenas. And Sablanways doesn't hit anybody at least. And blue goes for Republic. Will he take Napoleon? Yes, he will. Doesn't have cannons or cavalrymen for that. But goes for... interesting, goes for libraries. So yeah, it feels like everybody is a pretty good setup. We have the great production. Kim has great strength setup with the magic castle. I guess he doesn't have the necessary technologies yet. And then Tamura's also good food and resource and science production, very solid, and starts with the culture production as well now. So we are not the weakest now. We can definitely play the wealthy territory, I think. Oh, we don't do that. We don't have any units we could send away, so yeah, don't want to reveal the inhabited territory. So we're gonna skip the politics here. We have to destroy something because of the border conflict, so yeah, of course we destroy that. I mean, we could also destroy our religion instead. There's Bach, but sadly both operas are gone. We'll probably still take Bach. I think we could also go for Darwin. He's gonna be 2 culture production as well. Then we don't really need our religion. So maybe this. Definitely want to get a rifleman out now. Probably build one. Maybe go for Darwin. Give some nice... oh yeah, and then we can take cannon and cavalryman. So we use Charles Darwin immediately to get cannon and cavalryman for 1 selection each. I like that quite a lot. Don't really need the reserves. Revolutionary idea would be great. It's always great to get those. But yeah, having good setup, taking the cannons and the cavalrymen. Okay, yeah, then we probably don't go for rifleman then. We can just go and grab Darwin and go for cannon instead. Yeah, that's better then. Still might want to take the cavalryman here. Yeah, I want to have that option to go for the cavalryman. Maybe we build a cannon next turn and go for the fortifications. And then if we have the cavalryman, we can also go for these H3 tactics. Like the mechanized army, really, really strong. And then we still have the possibility to go for positional army or entrenchments. So keeping all the options open. Still have those wars. We just need a few military actions. And maybe war of culture or something to yeah, start some wars, and then we have riflemen and cavalrymen, both of them really important for that. Food production, amazing. Resource production 7, very solid. So I think I like this. Yeah, this looks good. Definitely keep those colonization cards. I guess we could play the tactic now. Yeah, I don't want to discard too many cards here. I think I play the tactic now. Gonna go for that next turn anyway. Maybe keep the next territory and the war over territory. Yeah, both of them. Don't really need the war over technology anyway. And then those 2 colonization cards for the inhabited territory. That will come in pretty handily as well. We could think about building a warrior to get the inhabited territory cheaper. So yeah, this is tricky. We could go for Darwin, take the cannons, develop that, build a cannon, and like this, build a warrior so we get the inhabited territory for maybe just the warrior. I think I like that more actually than getting the cavalryman. We still have the riflemen for that. We can still go for the fortifications. Probably playing that as well. And we can take tanks if we need them. And with this we have one good tactic in play and the possibility to go for some more from H3. So yeah, we don't really need the cavalrymen as much. And like this could save us like 3 resources if we get the territory for warriors instead of cannon. So I think I like that. Then of course giving the colonization cards and just drawing 1 card now. That will be Ravages of Time. That can we definitely play. And once Colossus draws H3 cards, we can definitely get rid of that, and Ravages of Time will be pretty good for us then. And a failed aggression from red against blue. Yeah, but I don't know, probably there was a chance that that would go through. And now Kimmo upgrades his warriors. He will lose Zhishka now. Yeah, Zhishka's gone. And okay, blue offers a pact to us. I produce 1 less. Let's first see what we do from the Colossus. War of a Culture and Shock Troops. Do we... Why do we want to accept this pact? I mean, yeah, he's Napoleon. He can go for cavalrymen and do stuff, but I don't want to accept that pact. I have 11 strength. If I get a cannon, I have a lot more. I need my resources, and this. It's just that we can't attack each other. I'm not afraid of attacks from him yet. Not at all. Nope, sorry, I won't accept that pact. I want my resources. And mirrors. Yeah, finishes. Oh, he doesn't even go for strength. That was a big bluff. Okay, now he does. Now he does go up to 16. Still, I definitely didn't want to accept that. So yeah, he's looking pretty strong with the cavalrymen and the hussars. That's a pretty good tactic, almost as good as ours, I would say. And early military theory, can definitely go for that, I think. So grabbing the military theory. That's even cheaper thanks to Darwin. So thanks Darwin. And we can build a cannon, so we're at 20, so we're the strongest now. This warrior could be great for the inhabited territory still. We could also play something like the Ravages of Time. Maybe it's time for that. We are the weakest. Yeah, but let's play the Ravages of Time. It's really good for us. It comes out early. Oh, and vast territory. So 2 territories in there. I would love to get this for 11, and that is quite a lot. So maybe we get it for that. Don't think I have to bid 13 for that. We have food under control anyways. So yeah, 11 should be enough. And we win it for 11. Have to pay the 11 for it. Okay, so the warrior. Oh, actually everything, yeah. Pretty expensive. But yeah, probably still worth it. Now we have a lot of food and an amazing yellow bank. And yeah, no International Red Cross to spend the food on, so we can increase population. quite a lot of times. So probably take the military theory still. Increasing population a couple of times, building a cannon. So we are the strongest, and yeah, I guess we can just increase population another time. Could also think about playing the military theory. Yeah, I think I like that more. If we don't do that, then we add 2 military actions and only draw 2 cards. I really want 3 cards. And I don't need the population, so doing the military theory this turn seems like a good move. And then yeah, we don't need any of these H2 cards, they are pretty old now. Would have loved to get military build-up, but for 3 civil actions, can't really afford that. Would love to get some more civil actions going, so maybe we can get civil service or democracy, something like that. But with Darwin we basically have a couple more civil actions, if you want to count that like that. So that should be okay. And yeah, then that's our turn. See what we draw, maybe some good impacts. Government, progress and competition. Okay, we can work with that. Definitely government could be okay. Progress as well, we have 10 at the time, and we have some science production, so we can definitely work with that. And red he opens the iconoclasm, so we lose Darwin and blue loses Napoleon. And Kimoya can immediately take Catherine, so he has an H2 lead and we both just lost ours. And Churchill will come down to 1, so yeah, blue will probably take Churchill here. He's definitely better than no leader. He will take military theory, revolutionary idea, modern infantry. So yeah, he looks like he wants maybe to go for some wars. Takes a lot of military stuff, so it's gonna be really hard for us to go for war. Red has a magic castle, he has military build-up, revolutionary ideas, reserves and everything. And then blue has military theory, modern army and Churchill. So yeah, wars are gonna be really, really hard to pull off. And we have great resource protection still. So the next event would be inhabited territory, so I don't know if we want to open that. Can't really go for war this turn, can we? We could theoretically build 2 cannons. Then this is a war for territory. In this position I'd like the war for technology even more. I mean, you could even go for the war of culture this turn. I mean, red can go for military theory and then defend quite nicely against us. And red is no option at all. The only option we could go for against the war against blue. But with 12 resources, he can go for 2 more cavalrymen. That's 6 strength from the cavalrymen and then 4 from the hussars, so 10 strength. So he's at 22, plus military theory, so plus another 5. Could also do something with modern army with with Churchill he has even more resources. And we can't get any more. I mean, we could do something with Sid Meier here. We could pick him and elect him. We even build another lab. Going up to 7 culture production and then grab democracy. And with the democracy, we can maybe go for a bit of government. We're gonna get 6 more, not 4 more in this, so 20, so not that great. Maybe we'd rather go for input of progress then. We don't have a lot of science production if we go for Sid Meier. We don't have the computers, so we lose some science production doing this. And we can't combo this with internet, it's also not that great yet. Go for fast food chains or something. Problem is, yeah, if we hadn't lost Darwin, this would have looked a lot easier. But now we have to decide. Also, there's Gandhi, so if we commit to the wars, I mean, yeah, it's going to be very hard to declare wars on red anyway. And everything also depends on who gets the air forces, so maybe this is a safer play. We are not that far behind, 15 against blue and 25 against red. Or 24. Still have great resource production, and with this we start our culture production. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for the vast territory. Maybe we didn't need that really. But I like the democracy. We don't have a lot of civil actions, so going for democracy seems pretty good. Then we can even build another scientific method. Yeah, wars just seem a little bit too hard here. If blue hadn't gotten the military theory, we could definitely go for that. We could go for fundamentalism instead of democracy or something, still planned for the war. So we had 7 resource production, that's also not the most. So we could upgrade that this turn instead of the scientific method. What other leaders do we have? We have Pierre, we can't really use him, or Marlene. So I think Sid Meier is a good option here, and then with the democracy we'll get a lot of culture production going. And with our resources we should be able to defend against anything. I mean, blue can't go for a war next turn. He needs more time for his military actions. Red can't really go for a war. Can't use his military build-up. Yeah, maybe this doesn't look too bad, getting the culture production up finally. We have so much food. I would love to have Red Cross in here, but sadly we don't have that, so we can't spend our food on that. So we're missing some resources really. So maybe we should upgrade the bronze instead. To go up to 9 resource production. Maybe grab Sid Meier, but don't play him this turn yet. So get more science, more resources, but so I'm a little bit like this. Yeah, I like getting the coal up, and yeah, but I don't like skipping on the culture. We need to produce that now, I think. Yeah, I have a really hard time deciding what to do this turn, but let's go with Sid Meier and the democracy. I guess before we do that, then we can maybe go for the input of progress. Yeah, it's 3 culture production for playing that card. I think we do that. Playing the input of progress. The territory will come up, and yeah, we won't bid for this. We have enough food and population anyway. So yeah, passing on this one. So Kimmo wins it for 1. That is very cheap for him. At least he has to send away a rifleman, doesn't have a warrior left or something that he could have thrown away. So yeah, I don't think anything really changed from that. So still going for Sid Meier, taking democracy and building that lab. So next time we can go for democracy. Yeah, we talked enough about this before the colonies, I think. And then let's see what we draw. No new impacts. That is a little bit sad. Maybe the input of government can still be good for us, but I would have liked some different impacts more than the tactic and this stuff. Kimmo opens immigration, and no one has any discontent workers, so nobody loses anything. And he will use his military buildup, build a cannon, and go for... he's preparing for a war as well. Now blue probably will do the same. Yeah, uses Churchill, goes for rockets, and builds 1 and 2. And as a tactic, and can go for modern infantry. So I think we can't go for democracy this turn. I mean, he can just play modern infantry, upgrade both, and then he fulfills the tactic. That is a lot of strength, and if we did go for democracy, we can't go for air forces next turn, and we really need them. And we could go for democracy and build a cannon. And then next turn we can build another. Another one would be 4 strength because of the Great Wall, plus another 5, so 9 strength. Timurus, he can declare a war, has 2 military actions left, can develop modern infantry, upgrade 2, that's if he upgrades both warriors, that's 4 strength for each, so 8 strength, plus another 3 for both armies, so 6, so 14 strength for him. And we can't do that if we do it like this. We would need reserves. Then we have, so next time we have 11. With reserves we could build yet another cannon. So 6 cannons. Promise, then we don't get air forces. Maybe we don't need them. Maybe we can go for democracy, increase population once, build a cannon, grab reserves, and air forces. I really want to get out the democracy. This way we are the weakest. Could also think about playing something like a bit of government. It's not the greatest. But like this, with the reserves, we can build just 3 cannons, and that is a lot. 3 cannons is 10 from the tactics. Each cannon is worth 4. Kimo, what can he do? He has some reserves in hand as well, but he doesn't have enough resources to really push for a lot of strength. I mean, he can build 2 riflemen, that's 6 plus 6, that's 12. But yeah, if we count that, just doing that one more time, we have 7 production, 4 resources, so we have 11 next turn with reserves, we have 15. 15 is enough for 3 cannons. 3 cannons is 3 times 3, so 9, plus another 3 from the Great Wall, so 12, plus 2 times the tactic, that's 10, so 22. So red definitely can't go for a war, and what did we say Timurus could do? Also not that much, right? He could go for modern infantry, that's 4, and for the tactic that's 3, so for each warrior that he upgrades he gets 4 plus 3, and that's 7. So 14, he can do 14, and yeah, we can do way more. So I mean, maybe this is the way we have to do this. I really want the Air Force. It would be perfect to get efficient upgrade and engineering genius instead of that. Instead of the reserves, but I really need those reserves. And now we have 10 cultural action, that is definitely not bad. Yeah, the game is somehow slipping away a little bit, it feels like. Maybe we can still make it work. Could think about loss of serenity, but I don't think anyone will accept that with us. And I don't... yeah, import of competition won't be good. And import of government, we could play that. There's ravages of time, so we might lose our colossus. At least it's only 2 strength, so not the most important thing. I mean, yeah, we could play the import of government now. This turn. Get the culture production from the ravages of time a little bit earlier. Yeah, yeah, we could do that. That's 3 culture. Maybe we get civil service, but that seems unlikely. Yeah, but we could do that. That's 3 culture for playing it, then they both have 1 more. Yeah, but I think I want to do that. The rest looks pretty good. Play member of government here. Independence declaration, so we have to lose a colony. At least we have a lot to choose from. I guess we don't need the developed territory. That's 1 yellow and 1 blue cube. We don't lose the one-time effect, of course. Historic territory, do we need the happy face? It might come in important if we don't have that. Definitely not the strategic, we want the strength. I think developed should be fine. 1 yellow cube is not that much for us. And then 1 blue. Yeah, developed seems like a good idea. And then doing the rest as we did before. Oh no, we can't do that. Then we have corruption this turn. So we'll have to take the historic territory, I guess. Yep. We'll have to go with the historic. What did I do wrong? Oh yeah, we wanted to go for democracy. Reserves and air forces. I mean, we have enough food to get out more population. Maybe we can put some into religion or something. So happy faces aren't our biggest issue, and Yellow Bank is so solid. Might become a problem at some point, the extra happy face, but yeah, we can always put that into religion or something. So this looks okay. And then we probably get rid of that war. If we go for a war, it should be the other one. The aggression seems unlikely. I guess we can also discard this tactic. We're never gonna go for shock troops. We're also never gonna go for modern army. We just probably stay with our fortifications. That is really efficient with the Great Wall especially. So I'm fine with that. And then let's see what, maybe we could draw some new impacts, some better ones. Nope, no impacts. I mean, international tourism could be nice. We can maybe still go for a war, who knows. But yeah, we definitely don't need two. We would have really liked a new impact here. And Kimmo opens arms industry. We don't win any of that. That is a little bit... So these guys get 4 resources each. That's really good for them. That's really good for them. And Kimmo has the entrenchments. Goes up to 45. Takes air forces. I think that's good for us that red has air forces now. Means blue can't take them. And there's the Ravages of Time. Takes professional sports. Yeah, still looks like blue might want to go for some wars. So I think we have to put everything into military. So we can maybe play the international tourism here. Offer that to someone. I don't really want to play the Import of Competition still. And the wealthy territory also not really. So the next card will be Import of Progress. We're not even that good in that anymore, to be honest. And yeah, if it's next card, we won't be getting engineering or the satellites with that. So we could play the wealthy territory. But the question is why? Maybe we can just offer the international tourism. The question just is who do we offer that to? And I think we would offer it to red here. I mean, he has 1 impact. Everyone has 1 impact. We have 2. Yeah, I think we offer this international tourism to red. Because I think blue has an edge over him. And blue will end up closer to us than red. I mean, it's yeah, it's a tricky decision. Who do we offer this? This is a really close game. We are all so close that yeah, but I still think both should accept. I mean, there's no real reason why you wouldn't. Everyone has 2 wonders, so everyone gets +2 culture production. And I think red, I mean, there's a slight edge, but blue has more culture production, more resource production. Same science, more food. It is still a very strong military position. What can he do? He can luckily not get air force. That's really good. But with 10 resources, yeah, again, he can upgrade, go for modern infantry, upgrade both. I think we can defend against that. So yeah, let's offer this to Kimmo and hope that he accepts. No real reason why he wouldn't. And he accepts, and that's really good. And we have to crumble something. We're gonna crumble the Colossus, of course. That's actually very good. Now we have 14 culture production. I like it quite a lot. And then, as we said, we have to be careful. We don't want to spend any science because we want to go for air forces. Maybe we just build 3 cannons this turn. This way we are the strongest. We have 14 culture production. Then we can also take the reserves. Those reserves could be another 2 cannons. Could be important for the air forces. I mean, 1 air force is quite a lot. We had 47. Gonna have a lot of resources next turn. We could think about Copying this tactic, the entrenchments. Then we need a couple of riflemen. But we can do that still next turn. Yeah, we can do that next turn if we need to. So that would then be build 2 riflemen, copy the tactic. So we fulfill the tactic 2 times. That's more than... It might not even be more than just 8 cannons. 8 cannons is 20. Get 1 more rifleman, but yeah, this is really safe. I like that. Yeah, I like playing safe here. We had 14 culture production in, so playing safe seems like a good idea. Hopefully that's enough culture production to overtake them. Input of progress is not going to change a lot. So this time we really need a new impact. Probably can get rid of these aggressions. Don't really see a chance for that, especially the occupy. Can I keep the tactic for now? I mean, yeah, we can also get rid of that. No way really that we can ever go for that. And then see if Kimmo tries to hide behind Gandhi. Then blue has really hard time finding someone to go on. And it should be hard for him to declare war next turn. The amount of infantry play should not be enough. We have 12 more than him. He shouldn't gain as much. Especially when we can just play 2 more cannons. That's a lot of strength. And a bit of industry. Yeah, okay, it's not the worst. And the mechanized army. Sadly, we don't have the tanks. There's another one that might come in handy. That might be better for us. So then for the entrenchments, but probably not because of the Great Wall. Entrenchments should be about the same strength, right? So it doesn't really matter, and we have the riflemen in hand already. So I feel pretty safe. I hope I don't regret that. Input of progress comes out. That's nice that it comes out before red goes for anything. 14, 10, 14. This is really close. And red will take engineering now. That's really good that he didn't have that before the input of progress came out. And he will go for even more strength. Just needs 2 more cannons. He doesn't have any resources left, so I don't know if I like his position now. Ooh, that's good that we are not the weakest player. This is really good for red and really bad for blue. But I'm happy that I'm at least not the weakest. Now Tremors, yeah, looks like he will do this. Take space flight. Go up to 49, so we are the weakest now. But the refugees were left out, that's good. Input of industry is pretty nice against red, especially. So that I like quite a lot. I think I'll play that input of industry now. We are the weakest, but what can this be that is really bad? We have to play some impact, so input of industry is pretty nice for that. Autonomous territories, so another territory, and autonomous is pretty great. The problem is we don't have any colonization cards. We would have to send away 2 cannons. That's 13, that's not bad. We then... this is tricky. This is very tricky. So if we send away 2 cannons, we go down a lot. Red can still go for war. Blue could still go for war. Yes, he could. He definitely could. I don't think he wants to. I don't think wars are an option this game, really, because we're all so close. But if someone now overbids for the autonomous territory, then it's definitely a possibility. We could take resources, so get 1 cannon back. And then the question is, what do we do with the territory? What we would like the most, probably the culture at this point. We could send away 2 cannons, go for air forces, build 2 air forces. That is pretty efficient. Or I don't know, build 2 riflemen, then we can copy the entrenchments. But yeah, sending away 2 cannons, that's the problem with being the first now. These guys can still declare war on us. I mean, also red probably can't. I mean, red has 2 resources. no way to get more. So he can't go for these air forces or anything. So we will definitely stay at 50. Blue, on the other hand, has 9 resources. That's also not that much. Also, he wants to finish his space flight. Could declare war and go for satellites. So if you send away these cannons, luckily the game tells us, we go down to 34. And then we could go for 2 air forces. Or just 1 air force and take the culture. That's the biggest problem, that if you take the resources, then the autonomous is not really worth it anymore. That's too late for the civil and military actions to pay off. So we would have to take the culture. Also, that can be bad for some impacts. This is a tough decision. I really have to think about this. You guys remember the last season of International Championship where I threw away 1 game because of a late colony. That was the historic territory. Now that's the autonomous, and it's a really tough decision. 7 culture could mean, it could be the difference in winning or losing this game. It is so close, everything. So if I send away 2 cannons, I mean, I could just rebuild them. What else am I gonna do with my resources? Maybe United Nations next turn or something. Maybe I want a new scientific method. Get even more culture production. Could go even for oil with the import of industry in. I really don't know. Is this too much? 13, 2 cannons. We go down a lot. That would force us to go for air force. 1 air force is 10 strength. So if we go down to 34 and build 1 air force, we're at 44. I think this is too much. I can't bid that much, sadly. I would have to take the resources and then it's not worth it. So I can't afford to take the culture because, yeah, tough decision. Also 7 culture is not that enormously much. Yeah, sadly I can't bid more than 5 for this. I really would love to, but I fear that that would mean I would throw the game again. Those cannons are a lot of strength for me, especially with the Great Wall, so I can't justify going for more than 5. Let me know in the comments if you would have had the balls to send away 13. If that even would have been enough, we don't know, but yeah, I'm too afraid. So yeah, let me know what you would have done. So, and the red wins it for 11. Let's hope that he has to pay a lot. Only the cards and 1 rifleman. And he does take the resources, okay. Yeah, still not sure about that decision completely. I mean, we would have gotten extra culture from the import of government from the autonomous territory. That would have been 3 more culture. Yeah, but yeah, I'm still not sure about that. But let's focus on the next turn. I think I want definitely that patriotism. I don't know if I need air forces this turn. I would like to have civil service. I would really like that. I mean, 4 more culture from the import of government. Something for variety, progress if that's in, something like that. Oh no, we discarded progress for some reason. Now it doesn't seem that good anymore to discard that. But I guess we didn't know that we would go for all of these technologies, but yeah, maybe could have held on to that. The thing is, red has 7 resources now. That would mean he can go for 1 air force. 1 air force is 5 and another 9, so 14. And then with the Himeji Castle, you could have another 5 for sacrificing the air force. So you could go 20 strength, something like that. If we prepare like this, we have 14 resources next. So if we prepare to be able to build 2 more cannons. No, we would need 4 more cannons. 2 more isn't enough to be able to defend. We could, yeah, the problem is if I go for civil service, then we can't go for riflemen and we will discard them. And then we can't copy, for example, the tactic. That would be something we could nicely do. Go for 3 riflemen, copy the entrenchments, and then we are safe. But if we do it like this, maybe build a temple, maybe another one. Like this we have 8 resources, plus another 8, 16, so enough for 3 units, but not enough for 4. And 3 units would be 9 plus 3 from the Great Wall, that's 12, plus 1 more tactic, that's 17. And we said Kimmo could go up 20 with the Magic Castle. So maybe we can't do that. I would really like to get the civil service out before the input of government comes. Maybe instead we develop with the riflemen and then grab civil service for maybe next turn. That's something we could do. Next turn we have enough science for that. Could, I don't know, oil for the input of industry. That we could do that this turn. And with the reserves we could upgrade 1, but then we only have 13 resources next turn. That's not enough, so oil not really an option. It's too late for that now. We could hope to get the tanks next turn, but yeah, red could just take them away. Or blue could take them. We're not really afraid of a war from blue. He has, if he declares war, has 2 military actions left, so he can't go for another army. He also doesn't have the resources for that. I guess he could go for 2 modern infantry. He has enough resources for that, but then if he declares war, he can't play a tactic like he would if he would switch to the modern army. That would be a possibility if he only has the hybrid war. Then he could declare the hybrid war, build 2 modern infantry and play the modern army. But I don't think that's really his plan. I think his plan is go with a space flight, and it's really close. So it's hard to tell what would be the right move if he can go for a war. Yeah, this is pretty tricky with the rifleman. If only we could go for the rifleman. Could go with civil service and then not build the religions. I mean, like this we have 14. This we would have enough resources. And then we don't build the religion. Could even grab the tanks this turn. And then we can build a religion. No, that's actually not even more if we go for tanks. That's not that. Yeah, we don't need the tanks. Then we could just 14 plus 8 resources. We have more than 20, so we could just build 4 more cannons, and then that's enough. And then tanks actually don't help, because with if we go for 4 more cannons, that is quite ridiculous how much strength we would gain from that. And we would need 3 tanks to go for 3 mechanized armies. And then those tanks also don't give anything from the Great Wall. So I don't think we need tanks here. We could think about upgrading, but that costs us resources. Let's count again. We have 14 resources plus another 4. Plus another 4. So 8 plus 14 is 20. 22. So we need 20 for our 4 cannons. Then we can't really build anything else. So what else do we do this turn? Hope it's no input of happiness under there, or did we have that? Nope, could be input of happiness, so then we are pretty screwed. Red would have loved to play that. And blue would be pretty good at that as well. Yeah, looking pretty good for red, I would say. He can take Pierre de Coubertin next turn. play him, gets a lot of culture production, gets the Olympic Games as well. So you could think about not taking as many cards and hope that Pierre is one of the last two, so Red doesn't get those. But I don't think we can skip on the patriotism, and I really want the civil service as well. And we can't go for war, right? Now we're missing some resources for that. Oh, we already played out politics, so that's right. Don't run the tanks. Yeah, tricky decision here. We'd have to think what is the best move. We are the weakest like this. Could increase 2 times, build a cannon, so we are the strongest. And definitely could be a bit of strength or something like that. And play the reserves. And I don't know if we don't. Yeah, we have 9 signs next turn, so yeah, I can't take the movies. Guess we would go for a couple of religions. Can't just take oil away, maybe. And like this, we have enough for 3 more cannons next turn if we need to defend. And we are still producing 14 culture. I think Red will have more with Pierre. But we have 2 good impacts for us. Industries is really, really bad for Red. So I think this is the best I can do. I have to be afraid of a war. Maybe that will cost us the game, that I could go for movies this turn or something, but I have to be prepared for wars from Red or Blue. Which seems pretty unlikely that they will go for it, but if they see a chance, of course they can still do it. And then this sets us up to nicely defend. Hope it's... let's take a look again at the tactics. Okay, there is no modern army left, so Blue can't go for that. That changes stuff a little bit, right? He can't go for war then, I think. Nothing that would give him that much more. So only Red is left with the option for war. But that still is too much. I believe he can go for just 1 air force. And then he has enough to declare the war against us because of his symmetry castle. Maybe we shouldn't go for the civil service. I mean, it's only 4 culture from the bit of government. Keep our science to go for air forces. And I don't know, go with another scientific method. Still take the patriotism. Like this. We have enough for 2 air forces next turn, so we can defend. We produce 16 culture. We get 1 more technology out, maybe the oil or something, who knows. Not getting the civil service means 4 less culture from the government. But also leaves the slight chance that Pierre will be the last card and then Red doesn't get him. And then he doesn't get the Olympic Games. And it is 2 more culture production from the scientific method. A little bit more science, we are still safe. We are the weakest right now. But did anybody really play Input of Strength yet? That seems unlikely to me. That would be so risky to do. And then maybe next turn we just build 3 religions or something after we don't have to go for the defending the war. Guess we don't have to play the Air Force, but there's nothing else we really would like to play. nothing we can really do. We could increase population. I mean, if it's input of happiness, we're screwed anyway, so we can keep our science for now. Don't need the air force, we can then maybe, I don't know, go for the civil service instead. Although it seems unlikely that that will stay there. But yeah, maybe this is better not going for the air force yet. And if it's input of technology, then it would be good. Yeah, this is a really tricky turn that might decide the game here. But I think I will go with this. The other play, I like building that fourth scientific method. And yeah, civil service. It makes it too tricky with the air forces, in my opinion. That we can't go for the air force if we go for civil service. So yeah, maybe we should have a bit more for the colony. I guess we wouldn't have gotten it, or could have maybe gotten it, who knows. And then gone for air force instead of the cannons, but yeah, there's still the possibility for war. We have to be careful with that. So this prepares us nicely with the patriotism and 10 resources. We have 14, so enough for 2 air forces. And then we are definitely able to defend. So that seems good. Yeah, it seems good. Seems about right. And then we can, we can keep the mechanized army for now. We don't need the war anymore, or this one, we will lose that one anyway. We don't take enough cards, so the age won't end, so Kimmel gets one more military card draw for maybe some nice impacts for him. But also there's a chance that he doesn't get Pierre. I think we maybe have to risk that. So let's see if we draw a nice impact. Variety, okay, and there's Pierre, sadly. Okay, and we draw the hybrid impact, the hybrid war. Okay, variety is very bad for us, so at least it's good that we take that away, but that probably means we can't do anything with our politics phase next turn. Can't go for the input of competition, so yeah, that next politics phase not looking so promising. So Kimmo opens input of culture. Okay, 14 for us. Yeah, that's great that we didn't play that, but we win it. That is always nice. And yeah, he goes for piano and goes up to 12 culture production. Computers, 50 strength, so really, really close. Might be the input of strength in there, who knows. Age ends, and blue will play something as well, and it's input of government. 20 for us, 23 for Kimmo, and then 21 for blue. So not that that big of an impact. And he goes up to, oh crazy, he goes up to 61 strength, so we really have to be careful about aggressions and such. Can't go for war anymore, of course, but he could definitely go for an aggression. And we really would need some happy faces here. So what do we do here? We can build some religions, but we need more, so we have to delete something. Can't go for the input of competition, definitely not, and the variety also looks pretty bad. So I'll have to skip politics here. I would really love to get the input of colonies, for example. So going for air forces, I think we need one to be able to defend against blue. So yeah, first we have to delete something, build some religions. With the patriotism we can build another religion and then build an air force. We can look at what, we don't really have a lot of information, right? It could be all of those impacts. So we can't really play around that as nicely. We don't know what we need. But we need an air force to be able to defend against blue. Could delete an cannon, but that only is one more strength than if we go for the air force. So we have to delete something. Do we want to delete our farms? It could be involved agriculture. Red, okay, he wouldn't have played that. But blue definitely could have, and blue has 3 impacts, probably 3 impacts in there, so it could definitely be involved agriculture, so don't want to destroy that. Coal, also don't want to destroy that, that is, input of industry is definitely in, so maybe I have to destroy the scientific method here. Yeah, it's a really tough choice. I really don't want to destroy any of this, but I could just go with this, be open to an aggression, but with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 we can't defend like this. And then if blue steals our culture, it could come even third in this, if blue steals a lot. So yeah, this is a tough choice. I have to destroy something, but don't want to open myself up to losing for the input of agriculture or balance and harmony. So I think, yeah, colonies would have been great, but that's not in. I think I'll have to lead one of these labs. That's a really hard decision, destroying one of our labs. I guess I should have seen that earlier, that we needed happy faces and then not build that 4th lab. And go for 1 Air Force. 57 strength. If it's input of strength, that would be pretty nice. Yeah, it's a really tough call here, but I think I have to be able to defend, or I would risk losing this whole game against one aggression. It's so close. Looking at that, he does. Oh no, he doesn't get space flight. Doesn't have the resource for that. He has only 8, so he won't be finishing that one. But still, it's really, really close between all of us. So I can't afford to lose an aggression. And we got the input of culture already, so maybe we don't need the other lab. Yeah, it's just so hard to say. But don't want to delete the coal, because that is definitely in. And yeah, as I said before, a lot of impacts where I would need the food. And I have to go for the Air Force this turn. So Kimmo is, that's so close, 137 culture, he gets 8 more from Pierre. Yeah, this is gonna be really, really exciting finish. I'm really excited how this turns out, this super close game. Oh, right, I can take the oil, and then it doesn't really matter what I discard, it's my last turn anyway. So let's see, input of technology, 12 to 8, that's good, 20. Oh, this is getting so close. Red will go for an Air Force, so it's probably strength from one of these guys. He will take the 1 die away, and then Tamuris opens input of architecture, 6, 10 for him, 10 for blue, and then goes for civil service. Doesn't get stronger, so maybe not the input of strength, who knows, it's really, really close. Science, oh no. Not the science. Industry, that is really good for us. Oh, this is so close with blue. Harmony, okay, so that was good. Oh, this is close. Blue might win this actually. Population, 16, we are very well in population, right? 16, 12 at least, we are wonders. Oh, no, this was the last one. 18, 12 and 11, missing 1 or 2 points. Oh man, what a close game. I really enjoyed the ending of that one. Such a close game, really so close, really well played by the other guys. And I don't know where we went wrong. That input of science was really, really bad. How close was that? 7, 8. Yeah, because we had to delete our scientific method. That happened. Yeah, very interesting game. Let me know what you think. Did I make any mistakes? It felt really, really good. We got all of the territories. We had a very nice setup with the selected breeding, coal and scientific method. I don't know, maybe I waited too long with upgrading the 3rd bronze. Or I never upgraded the 3rd bronze to coal. Maybe I should have gotten something for happy faces. But I felt pretty secure about this game. In the middle, and then yeah, it got really, really close, and in the end, not enough for us. So, yeah, really close, but sadly no points for me this game. And yeah, we're gonna have a look at what that means for the standings of the whole tournament. So let's take a look what this means for our tournament group. If we look at Master 2 here and see the finished games. 5 games finished already, and as you guys can see, this game actually ended quite a while ago, but I had to wait for the first game to finish so we could talk about what this means. And the super close ending, a little bit more culture, and would have felt a lot better. But coming last, this means our standings, we are pretty far behind in number 6, but we only finished 2 games, and for example Tamiris already finished 3 games. You can see that here, so obviously they have a lot more. Still not the greatest start to the tournament. Usually I think 3 players are my strong suit, and becoming 2nd place and 3rd place in the first 2 games is not the greatest start. It's still too early to think about defending our position in the league. I still try to win this league because yeah, I'm not ready to give up yet. But yeah, Tamiris with 13 points is really good. Has won 3-player and 4-player game and 2nd place in the 3-player game. So if we wanna win this league, we have to have a look out for Tamiris. So next game hopefully is against him, and we can maybe show him what we can do. With that said, thanks for joining, guys, and I hope I see you in the next game as well.